Hello viewers, and welcome to a brand new episode of Trashtalk on Fabula Ultima, a series where I talk about the various classes you can mix together to create your desired heroic characters in your Fabula Ultima campaign. In today's episode, Guardian, Paladin, Soldier, Yojimbo, the person whose job is to tank. What else is there to say? In terms of mechanic, Guardian has incredible defensive capability for both themselves and allies, which is also helped by the fact that the Guardian's free benefits are extra health and being able to equip martial armor and shield, and you will use that shield to its utmost benefit. Anyway, let's talk about the Guardian's skills, starting with Bodyguard. Bodyguard, when you guard another creature, that creature gains resistance to all damage types until the start of your next turn. Guard is probably the most important skill for Guardian to actually protect themselves and their allies. When you guard, you can do three things at once: give yourself resistance to all damage type, get +2 bonus to your result when you are performing an opposed check, and prevent your ally or a creature from being targeted by melee attack. A gun is another story, however. What this skill does is simply giving whoever you protect resistance to all damage types to having any incoming damage, which, to simply put, makes a good protective action even better, and all it costs is one single skill point. Second, Defensive Mastery. As long as you have martial armor and shield equipped, all damage you suffer is reduced by up to skill level. It's exactly what it said. You just plain reduce all damage coming your way, possibly all the way to 0 too. It just lets you tank more. It's nice, but it can get even better with the next skill, Dual Shield Bearer, which, as the name implied, lets you dual wield shield. You get more damage from Defensive Mastery too, and having double shield means you can have at minimum +4 to defense and magic defense, which can boost your protection to such a level it's kinda stupid. While even when maxed out, your damage potential still can't really be compared to having an actual sharp stick. You certainly have proved something about yourself. What it is, I dunno, don't ask me, I'm scared. Fourth, Fortress. Permanently increase your maximum hit point by up to 15. Well, it sure is something. The total skill point needed to truly get everything else in Guardian except Fortress is only an 8, which is really low. You really only take Fortress because you want to master Guardian for the heroic skill or something. It's an anime filler episode equivalent of a skill. It's there, that's all you can say. Fifth, Protect. When another creature is threatened by an attack, spell, or other danger, you can just take it for them, whether before or after the check has been completed. If the danger already affected you, you take it twice. You also cannot protect multiple creatures at once, and if you use the skill in conflict, you cannot use it again until the start of your next turn. Didn't have the action to use guard. This is something else for you to protect allies with, whether in conflict or out of it. The fact that this skill can be used both before and after check has been completed is kinda crazy. You can effectively, at any point of a car crash coming in the way of your ally, just come in and isekai the truck itself. You might also not necessarily get hurt in the process, as the check is now performed against you and your stats. To summarize, both the first and fifth skills of the Guardian are essentially the core skills of Guardian to really keep the rest of the team alive. It is that good. The rest is up to you. I'm just not sure if you want to put a full 5 points into Fortress. Upon putting in 10 points into Guardian, it is now considered as mastered and you can pick a heroic skill for it. In total, there's 7 Guardian specific heroic skills, 2 in core rulebook, 1 in high fantasy, 2 in natural fantasy, and 2 in the 6th Fabula Ultima bonus supplement. Let's go with the core rulebook first, starting with Rampart. During the first round of each conflict scene, you have resistance to all damage types and do not suffer status effects. This lasts until end of the first round. What this means is simple: at the first round, you are practically invincible. Take full advantage of this because it only lasts a turn. I recommend make full use of Protect for this round. You can take the hit anyway. Next there's Unbreakable. Once per scene when you get reduced to 0 hit point, you don't recover to 1. It's the only HP you need anyway. Moving on to high fantasy, there's Hoplite, which can also be unlocked by commander. As long as you have a weapon in your main hand and shield in your offhand, your attack do +5 extra damage and you also gain +1 bonus to defense. However, this skill doesn't work with custom weapons with defense boost, nor does it work with dual shield bearer skill. Are you rocking that sword and board look? Well, good news, you got a damage and defense boost out of nowhere. That's about it. It's good. Next up on natural fantasy, there's Brave Bash, which I have talked like how many times already. This can also be unlocked by Commander, Fury, Pilot, and Weapon Master, but really, it also requires Weapon Master's Bone Crusher skill as well as counter-attack to a certain extent. But to summarize, After using Bone Crusher on someone you have a crush on, literally, if you have a shield, you can challenge them and make them focus their attack on you. Also, if you hit them with free attack, that free attack gains bonus damage, but primarily, the first half of this heroic skill matters more to the Guardian, forcing an enemy to focus on you and only you until the end of your next turn as the tank of the party is great, especially if it's an enemy that would have been lethal to your allies. Just keep doing your job and let your party handle the damage. And then there's Power Nap, which can also be unlocked by Wayfarer and Merchant. Essentially, you can just power nap in the middle of combat to regain back HP and MP. Hilariously, you can still use Protect skill even when napping standing up, though considering your defense has been massively reduced during this period, this might not be a good idea except for the worst case scenario. It is still a good heroic skill to rapidly gain back health and MP, especially when you are out of potions and such. Next on the 6th Fabula Ultima bonus supplement, first there's Arcane Sacrifice, which can also be unlocked by, of course, Arcanist. Essentially, once per scene, when you are merged with an Arcanum, and either you or your allies get reduced to 0, that doesn't happen and you instead get reduced to 1 health, also the Arcanum get dismissed and you can't use it for this fight anymore. It's essentially Arcanist version of Unbreakable, which, funny enough, nothing in the book said these can't be stacked, which means if you have these heroic skills, you will always take 3 hits to go down no matter what Armageddon is coming your way, and that can be very useful. And lastly, there's Broken Wing Tactic, which can also be unlocked by Commander. After an enemy you can see perform an accuracy or magic check on their turn, you may give them +3 to the result, but in exchange, you can choose one. You and every allies that can hear you gain resistance to all damage till end of this turn, or you and every allies that can hear you deal 5 extra damage till end of this turn. What this skill does is that by letting an enemy roll a higher result, you essentially baited them for a predictable attack so your allies actually gain from it instead, whether for more defense or more damage. The fact that this skill triggers after the enemy has performed a check means that you already know how the result will look like every time. This skill still works even if the enemy rolled a 1 and you just gave them pity point for it before smashing their face in. And that's basically it on Guardian, the shielder that endures punishments for the well-being of their allies, or they are simply the designated meat shield. Anyway, that's all for now, and I will see you all next time. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe and click that notification bell button. If you want to see the videos early as well as further support my channel, you can join in my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.